Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're coming to you live from the new studio. And I mean literally live because we're streaming on Twitch right now.
Yeah, we are.
Well, that slight delay that's always there.
Yeah.
But
the Wednesday episode itself is sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games.
They gave me multiple bags.
They gave you multiple
At Gen
bags.
Con.
Awesome. Good. Bags are good.
That's just our. I also made a new deal with Alex. We only get paid in actually just their bags now.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
bad deal, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. That's going to really hurt.
Sponsorship complete.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So
you confused me. You interrupted me, and I got lost.
no, that's it. We start
yeah,
banter now.
We did.
That's,
Yeah, we're live. It's episode 155. That's the thing I meant to throw in there somewhere.
okay.
not 145.
Not
like you
145.
keep wanting to
155.
say.
I know. I tried to time travel.
We're past the 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We are. But yeah, we're live in the new studio. It's an absolute disaster in here.
That's why you can only see about this much of anyone's face.
Yeah, there are still so many other issues that we need to iron out. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the word iron.
Before we're ready to play games in here, we will be doing another stream now, especially now that I know some of this works.
Yeah.
No.
Live feedback, huh?
Great. Cool.
I'm not looking at the Twitch chat, so
Oh, the Twitch chat's a disaster already.
yeah, that's fine.
Um,
As long as it's in Paul's second monitor behind another screen. That's
Yeah.
that's what he said he was going to do today. So
okay. Yeah, so there was complaints about the massive paperclip that was holding those together.
I would say binder clip.
So it's mostly that one is holding up the bottom of the curtain so that the AC vent is exposed, so that the studio doesn't like cook us alive.
Melt.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I look forward to the melting sooner or later.
it'll happen for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are getting another light up mounted and powered
It
on.
exists.
It's here, and
Yeah.
I have the mounts. They're sitting here on the table.
Yeah.
That's why I look like bright face and dark face.
Yeah. And the table is just a shit show right now.
Yes.
I almost wish I
Scary
had
face.
the overhead mic on just so everybody could see.
The overhead camera.
I don't. Yeah, I said mic, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
We technically have.
All overhead microphones.
Yes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Also, we can't move the table or things will look like an earthquake.
Well, especially me.
For you two, my tripod is
That's
particularly
a good
stable.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm on a
You have a tripod that's on a beer, an empty beer bottle
Yes.
that
Is it
is then
empty?
on a book.
It's not empty.
Oh, is it?
No.
No, it's like
It's-
3/4 full.
Is
Yes.
it?
So when it falls over, it's going to immediately drown.
That is not 3/4 full.
No, it's like half full.
it's
Yeah.
awful.
It's going to immediately drown the camera though.
Yeah.
So
Good.
That'll be great.
The bottle cap is on.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
Not
going
a,
to help.
I'm not a monster.
But yeah,
I mean, we know your record with beer and electronics, so
Yeah. I mean,
not great.
I just set it there
not
and
great.
then it just goes bad.
yeah. Is this gonna just explode into the?
You know, I think there's enough space in there. We're not going to have a problem yet.
All right.
We'll see.
So we already have a record number of viewers.
yes, yes. Let's see. What is our record number? 10.
10.
10 is our record number.
All right.
Of viewers.
Well, I feel like is that really like 8 or 7?
I don't know. Well, and a lot of people might have dropped out because of that echo and just not come back yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me alert Slack. Echo should be fixed. I say should be because it might just fucking come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be the first Echo that's been on.
Our old board had like the.
I was talking about my cat, but okay, continue.
Okay. Well, our old board had effects on there.
Yes.
That I think was on at one point that we were unaware of because it was just such a small echo.
I think so. Yeah.
We're down to 8. We lost. We're just hemorrhaging viewers.
I was talking about peak viewers.
Yeah,
peak
I don't know
viewers.
what peak was.
Probably the 8.
Yeah,
You really shouldn't focus on that number. It's just going to make you sad.
I know.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
I mean, we already get plenty of people that
Paul-
download this wonderful podcast.
True.
So
Paul's
This is
filling the
new.
chat with shower emojis.
Good.
So,
Good.
so other things about the studio. At everyone's like fucking incessant complaining, I decided to tumble dry the curtains to try and smooth them out, and it made them worse. They're actually like, if you look, you can see the one, but like, well, nobody can on the stream, but the one in the left behind Jeff, that's like fresh out of a bag, not dried, and it's got like the fold creases The ones that have been through the dryer just look like somebody crumpled them up and left them in a closet for a month. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Did you throw them all in at once?
No.
Multiple loads.
Well, I did like 3 at once, and they
Okay.
came out wrinkly, and I was like, well, fuck this. And then I tried 1 at a time, and they still came out really wrinkly.
Some are better than others. But
Not much.
We may be on a hunt for a steamer.
Yeah, I think that's going to
That's
be the
probably
best
gonna be
bet
the-
because
Yeah.
these are huge and bulky, and it would be a pain in the ass to take them down and individually iron them, especially because I
Yeah.
don't have an ironing board ever since we moved out of our old apartment, and our little tiny shitty apartment one broke, and I was like, fuck.
It's over.
It's over.
And I don't iron anything ever, so
Neither do I. No.
yeah.
It's on the
Well,
list.
it wasn't tumble dry with no heat, Paul. There was fucking heat.
See, if you start live commenting on everything that happens on the
We're gonna
Twitch
be here all
stream,
night.
it's going to sound really bad on the podcast.
It's only during the banter.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll stop. Oh my
But-
god. I'm gonna turn off the fucking Twitch chat.
Yeah, you really should.
Like, I want to interact with it. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
we're supposed to be doing
yes,
this live.
absolutely.
I can filter some of this stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got it?
I've got it
Okay.
on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
one's saying anything important.
and-
They never do.
And we will have streams that are chat focused.
Yeah.
And that'll be like our Friday, like actually live playing and bullshitting
Yes.
with people. And then there's going to be the Wednesday podcast where we probably won't do, or I would think it would probably not be best to interact with the chat at the whole time, or people are going to miss out on it.
Yeah.
Of what the context is.
Yeah. And some of it can maybe get, tweaked in
Yeah.
editing.
Yes.
I don't know.
We'll just have Paul record all of his typing voiced in through.
No.
his,
Just here.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So we took like 4 weeks off.
Off. Yeah.
You guys kept putting shit out.
Yes.
And I can only imagine that people can hear the dog.
Oh, I'm sure.
assuming that the dog is highly, highly audible at this point. She was really good in the old studio. She'd just go lay on the couch and just
Yeah.
ignore us.
She was separated.
That's-
by
yeah,
more
That's because
than-
there was a bigger
Gap.
There was a gap. There was a baby gate.
Yeah.
and then a corner and then a door. Now it's just a door between us.
Well, it was weird, though, because if I ever left that door open, it's like she could hear it more and tell that it was open. I don't know. She'd get real whiny at the gate then. But she'll just have to get used to us recording it. It's been like 3 weeks. She's not used to it.
Yeah.
But she's right on
She's
the other side of
real
that door,
upset
right
being
now,
like,
yeah.
"Why are you in there talking to each other and not
Involving
feeding
me.
or paying attention to me?"
She's been fed. She can lay off that.
Maybe she wants more food.
She
at
always
all
wants more food.
times.
She always wants more food. She'll be huge if I fed her as much as she actually wanted to be fed.
There is currently 9 listeners if we count the dog, says Boyd.
Great. So what else have
So,
you gotten up to? What's
since we've
gone
been in
down?
our-
what do we want to cover?
What shit has gone down since we did our final seeing the new episode or seeing the new studio?
Well, you guys went to fucking Gen Con.
We went to Gen Con.
Yep.
Need
We
a
talked
bunch of
about
Gen Con episodes.
we talked about Gen Con for 4 episodes.
Yes, we did.
And
With Wes.
yep, with
the Dulcet,
DM Wes of the MHDD fame.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
which MHDD will be streaming a one shot here tomorrow on the stream. And I don't know if I'll have the overhead
Also-
mic because I don't think we have a map, but we'll have everybody on the stream. It'll still be wrinkly curtains.
AKA yesterday, if you're actually listening.
Yeah.
True. So you can still go to the channel on Twitch and watch it after the fact.
So we did a bunch of Gen Con episodes, and then we did just kind of like a Zach and I bullshit episode, just
Yep.
a chit chat about Fast and the Furious for like 20.
An extended amount of
I
time.
could have been a part of it, especially because right before you recorded that, I went and saw Hobbs and Shaw for a second time. I've seen that movie twice. I'm a dedicated fan.
That's the first time I've seen any Fast and Furious movie.
I mean, did you see 9 of their movies in a?
God, no.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's dedication.
The problem with your mic being at that height, Zach,
Uh-huh.
is that it's just directly between our faces. So
That's
I can't-
fine.
You mean this?
Yes.
The
Not
camera.
the mic, the camera.
You
I
keep
don't-
confusing microphones and cameras.
One
They
is
do very
audio,
different
one is
things.
video.
Yeah, they both record.
That might be a problem with the studio setup.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You know.
Yeah. And also, this was a choice.
You wound me.
Yeah.
I can't look at Zach anymore. I have
exactly.
to look at your asshole
Yeah,
face
and
all
I
the
don't want to
time.
do that, so that's why
Jesus.
the mic. Yeah, you need to move yours a little bit over, and then it'll be fine.
Well,
This table's bigger,
yeah.
for one.
Yeah, there's some distance. The space between us has grown.
Good.
You've got a laptop in between now.
Yep. I mean, I've always had the laptop. It's just
but
it used to be over here to the right.
Now it's on the left.
Now it's on the left. World's different.
yes, it's what a nightmare that we've been living through with
know.
all of these changes.
So many changes.
I feel like I don't want to just stare into the camera at all the time. I need to like actually like look at other people.
Yeah.
But now I don't have a good line of sight to our other co-host because he's directly to my left.
Yeah.
We had like a triangle system before,
I know.
and now we're like a different, worse triangle.
Yeah,
We're not a 90-degree triangle now.
Well, I feel like there's something specifically that we can blame for that, and that would be the microphone placement.
well, I don't know what you want.
We just need someone at the end of the table now.
Yeah. But the mic can't go there right
no,
now.
the mic really
Yeah,
does
they
not
can't
have
really.
an option to go over there.
No.
Yeah, no, we're just fucked.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
That's it. Shut it all down.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've hit peak.
Close it
We
down.
did this one stream.
Speaking
and
of
that's
peak,
it.
we're up to 11 viewers now.
Yeah.
That's a new peak.
Paul said he was out, but also, why is this in board games? Should just be chatting because that's all we're doing.
I mean, it's a board game chat.
Yeah.
So it's in board games.
Why is this in board games?
Like for categories on
Yeah.
Twitch.
Oh,
I put it in the
yeah.
board game category because
Okay.
we're a board game podcast.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can prove it later, not right now, but
Are there any other board game podcasts that stream
Not
their
that I'm-
podcasts
I mean,
on Switch?
Not that I'm aware of,
Twitch?
but I'm sure
Yeah.
there are.
Okay.
also
For them
we,
to have a category, I gotta think.
we are apparently very white.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
are
yes.
Yeah.
hasty.
I am very white.
Yeah.
I mean, it
The,
does.
the light's not helping.
No,
No, it is a very white light.
I might try and find like something to put like another thin layer of fabric that just softens that a little bit.
Fair.
Not quite so harsh.
Yeah, it's got two settings, on and off.
Yeah.
And on is surface of the sun, and off
Yep.
is the blackest of night.
Yes. Yes. But you know, it's all work in progress.
Yeah.
We're learning and growing,
Yep.
and that's just part of life.
Mhm.
And showing.
I clearly did not plan ahead and bring enough beer in here because I'm already out of beer, but I don't want to like run and get a new beer during the
Live stream.
You know what? There's no more breaks.
That's true.
Oh no, there's definitely still breaks. Definitely still breaks. But anyway, so we've had a long time off. You guys went and did Gen Con. You did a bunch of episodes about Gen Con. I'm going to
Yes.
try and right this ship and get the train back on the tracks. What else, since you've been back from Gen Con, you did the Fast and the Furious episode.
Yeah, I guess we could call it that.
What else has been going on in y'all's lives?
Just stuff.
Just stuff.
Stuff. You're in school now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
Have you talked
officially.
about that on any of the streams?
I don't think I have.
Jeff's
I'm
going back to school.
Yeah, I'm officially a college student again.
Yeah.
Going for a brewery operations degree here in Denver. It's basically a business beer degree, not just a straight up like organic chemistry fermentation science degree.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll be starting up classes like a week,
Awesome.
which is why we record on Sundays now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to start recording on Sundays now, which Megan's very excited about.
Because she gets a whole extra day with you
Yeah.
that she also has off.
Usually.
Okay.
So she usually works Sunday night, so she won't be here when we record, which she's
Gotcha.
a fan of.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
and then she'll just sleep in all day Monday while I do like whatever the fuck I want to do with
Mhm.
myself. And then we can do things like Monday evening all the way until like Sunday night if we want to be back for game night, or you know, like not Sunday night, Wednesday,
Uh-huh.
late Wednesday night if I want to skip
Very
game
different
night.
days.
Yeah. Because I'll have to be back at work on Thursdays. But
Yeah.
I thought about trying to move the D&D show to Monday, but that doesn't work with some of the crew over there. Because it would have been nice to be able to just always have at least a 2-day weekend, whereas MHDD on Tuesdays will still occasionally break my 3-day weekend.
It's a good thing you hate D&D.
Oh, I
Yes.
fucking love D&D. Don't even get me started.
Please
so,
do not.
And then we moved our brewery warehouse across town
To a smaller location.
to a smaller location. I think the steel just really needs to get adjusted, which did not happen beforehand because we needed the steel from our old location to go to the new location. And then we have a company coming in to reset all of that. And that's going to be a big
Hassle.
hassle. It's been a hassle the whole time.
Gotcha.
And then they decided that would be our best week to ship the most beer we've shipped out in months. Thankfully, they realized they were a little overzealous with that and moved it back through Monday this week and like Friday.
Gotcha.
So it got spread out a little bit. Yeah, that was a giant pain in the ass because they didn't move our forklift charger over, like our big one. So we had one of those little like trickle nightmare chargers.
Those fucking guys.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's if it's not there Monday, I'm gonna choke someone to death.
We could almost have Megan on the stream, but no.
Probably.
just gonna.
It's already been enough.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah, most certainly.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've just been hanging around, played a lot of Apex.
Okay.
That new event sucks. It's like, here's 24 packs, and you have to pay like $200 to get all of them. And we're going to give you 2 free ones through dailies and weeklies. And then you have to do almost all the dailies to even get those 2.
Ugh.
And then there's like, all right, if you want the cosmetics, you literally, there's no other option except to pay for them.
Oh, great.
Yeah, people are real up in arms and over that. And then
Sure.
one of the developers came out and was like, man, I sure wish everyone wasn't asshats about this whole thing. And that really calmed everyone down.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'm sure everyone's just like, oh, our bad.
oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to pay you $200. Been playing a lot of Hearthstone. Played a big Hearthstone match while we were setting all this up.
I don't know if it was it was just a long one.
Yeah, it's Control Warrior has taken over all of Hearthstone. At least it's like the number one like meta, and all of those episodes or all those matches are super long because not only do you get through your 30 cards, but then you have another card that gives you 10 extra cards, so you get another 30% more cards because once you run out, you just start taking damage, and those matches can take like 30, 40 minutes, and you want those games to be like 10, 15, which sucks.
Yeah.
But lost that one by like literally a turn, even when it came all the way down to getting through all those cards.
Yeah.
Literally one turn back and forth would have made a difference.
Yep.
Yeah. That's been about it, I think, that I've been up to extracurricular activity-wise.
Right on.
And the leg is still attached, so, nice thing.
For now, yeah.
For now. September, they might just be like, we're going to cut this whole thing off.
We'll get you a good peg leg.
Yeah.
We'll get to dismembered limbs later.
Yes.
In the Kingdom Death Corner.
Oh,
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing really new with me. I worked 96 hours on the last pay period.
Nice.
So I'm going to get a bunch of overtime, which will be nice because I've spent a lot of personal money on the studio. We definitely ran out of podcast funds on that one. Things just kept piling on.
Yeah.
We'll get more money soon.
Yeah. Slowly. Well, apparently we're getting a bunch of bags from our sponsor now instead of money, so that's gonna hurt.
I just asked them for a bag per dollar instead of actual dollars.
Cool. So
I thought we could resell them for more.
25 bags an episode. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could sell them for like $2.
Yeah.
And then we'll ship them for $1.50. And
Lose 50 cents. Great.
yeah, cool.
Sounds like a golden bell strategy.
Yep.
Perfect. I don't remember if the last time I did the show, which feels like a long time ago, or I think it was like a month.
July.
Yeah, it was the end of July.
Yep.
Not quite a month. But I don't remember if I'd officially booked my Japan trip, but Megan and I have booked flights.
I think you had
and
mentioned.
hotels,
yeah.
and like we're official. And I've been doing like a month of Duolingo for Japanese. So I'm starting to get some like, it's starting to sort of click in places.
I can take
that I'm
foreign.
feeling
I can
pretty
take
good
foreign
about.
language. But I could take foreign language at school for my
Mhm.
English credits, and I was definitely thinking of doing Japanese.
Yeah. It helps my company's owned by a Japanese megacorp.
Okay.
So, it's also probably not the worst thing for my career to learn Japanese. If I ever want to like try and get like into super upper management, can press the Japanese businessmen. But yeah, that trip's booked. We're really looking forward to it. Going to do a lot of snowboarding. If anybody who listens to the show is living in Japan or is Japanese or has any tips about Japan, especially like board game related, Megan's cool with me doing like a day of international board gaming. So I'd love to
Well, it's a whole day.
maybe
One
meet
whole
some
day.
people and play
Yeah.
some games. Check out some. I don't know if there's any good game stores in like Tokyo or in.
I don't know the board
Sapporo.
game scene. It's all video game scene, really.
Yeah,
Of all the
there's
cool stuff I'm aware
there's
of.
a little bit of a board game.
I'm
scene.
sure.
But yeah,
Probably not a lot of Japanese translated board games out there.
I don't know, but I'd be down to check out some non-translated ones that I
Like-
just don't know how to play.
20, 25 games of deep sea adventure.
There you go.
What was the name of that publisher? They had like a pig something.
Oink.
Oink Games?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're there. Just get an interview with them.
I'll do that.
Yes.
I'll interview people on my vacation.
That's what I did on Gen Con. This is the only fucking
Gen
vacation
Con's
I've
not
had in
fucking-
forever.
That's true.
It's a working vacation.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Boyd wants me to do sumo wrestling while I'm in Japan. I don't think that's going to end well.
Okay. No, but do it.
Yeah.
Gonna pass. Yeah. What about you, Zach? Any big news from you? We know you got the new job.
Yeah.
We already knew about that.
Yes.
Paychecks are probably bigger at this point.
A little bit, yes. Tried to get I tried to get a car so that I would have to stop Lyft entirely. And then apparently there's a difference between working for a company and then working as for a company like through a temp agency and a temp to hire capacity
Okay.
for the financing companies. So basically until I get permanent on at the place, then I can get a car and then I won't have to worry about lifting it out. So, but right now I just do it enough to keep the car, which is a lot. What?
Just adjusting the
Okay.
logo and
Nothing.
You
stuff.
just looked, I don't know, you just looked, yeah.
Because I was looking at and I could see Jeff making weird faces into
Okay,
the camera.
So I
That's-
could see myself on a TV screen.
But other than that, nothing much is really going on.
Cool.
I had a throat thing, which has been annoying, but it's
I did not get sick after Gen Con.
Nice. That's the way
Nice.
to do it. I've never had to deal with con crud.
Yeah,
I
I've
come
never
away
really
feeling
either.
fine after con.
It's a rare
Uh,
occasion.
But all right, cool. Well, let's talk about some board games. Board game podcast. We're in the board games section of Twitch, apparently.
Everyone needs to know that board games are a feature,
Yes.
not a bug.
Correct. Yes. They are the main focus of the show.
So have you played anything, Adrian?
I am trying to think. You guys should go first while I think.
It's been a month.
It's been
Have
a-
you played a board game?
yes.
In a month.
D&D doesn't count.
Well, I've played a good amount of D&D, but you're right, that doesn't count. I'm starting another campaign where I'm going to be DMing for Megan and two of her
Okay.
friends that are super brandy newbies, and so we're going to be walking them through doing a published module, and I'm really excited for that. It's going to be real sporadic because it's going to be based around Megan's schedule, which is not always easy to work around, especially when
Right.
she just fucks off to Washington for like 3 weeks. It's been like
As she
it's
is
been
wont
like
to do.
a week, but yeah. But yes, I have played some games because I've been going to game nights. So I played another game of Euphoria with the expansion.
Yeah.
I played with Mike Jones and Rachel and Ben from Game Night, they're a relatively new couple that just started coming fairly
Yes.
recently.
They asked for Zach. Like,
Yes.
do you know Zach? And
Because
I
that was one of the nights I wasn't going to be there, and I
yeah?
just posted like ask for Zach.
Right.
And I don't have Facebook, so I didn't get the context on the conversation. So I just thought it was a friend of Zach's.
And then there was somebody else who I'm forgetting. Me, Mike Jones, the two of them, and then there was a fifth. But I'm sorry, Game Night person, who I'm forgetting.
I'm sure they'll be okay.
Oh, it was Chris Evans. So Chris Evans joined, and I got smoked real fucking hard.
but you got different followers or
Yes,
You said it made it play very differently, or
I thought it
fairly.
fairly differently. Not having because nobody had the like wild
Yeah, good.
artifact one.
Yeah.
And like mine didn't end up helping me nearly as I thought one of them at least would be really good, and then it was like kind of meh. But it was close. Mike Jones won right there at the end, and he was gonna win, and then everybody realized it, and then like table talked how to block him on like the turns leading up to him, and I was sitting there, I was like, oh, this is kind of shitty, but I'm not gonna like shut it down too much. And then he was like, oh, it's okay because I still have my ethical dilemma, and there's the final point for the win. So.
yeah.
So he still won. It was great.
Euphoria is better with that expansion.
It definitely is better with the expansion. I 100% agree with that. I still don't think it's like
Even just the player aid
Yeah.
like things and not having to deal with putting your knowledge and morale on the board track anymore.
right. But I still really like it. I also played. They're talking about Pitchcar in the Twitch chat. I did play Pitchcar, but I
Yep.
assume you're going to want to talk about that, Zach.
I mean, sure, I can.
Or I guess we can kind of. Paul brought the loop this past Wednesday.
Yep.
A hot new loop.
And
Unconstructed as usual, and then Wes and I actually built it.
yes. And
and
How
then
many-
and then built the track too.
How many laps did you guys do?
Just the one.
just
Okay.
one lap.
Yeah.
Well, some people finished a lap. I did not.
The hardest part about the game is I think the rules are like 3 laps or something insane.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I would rage quit. I mean, I basically did. Once Wes actually crossed the finish line, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm done.
That's why
I barely made it through the loop, and I was just done.
you were trying to throw me in for like the 6th player, and I was like, nah.
Nah.
Yeah. But the loop is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. Well, and we didn't use it
Difficult.
as a traditional loop, but for
It was sort of like a big
inverse thing.
U curve
Yeah,
thing.
that you had to hit hard, otherwise it would just fall into the ground to the ground.
Correct.
It was cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives a little Hot Wheels vibe.
Yep. And we didn't. It wasn't designed great, but We were just sort of making it up as we went along.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty of pre-made.
Yeah.
For sure. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, no, I think I talked about my Agricola game. That was back before we took a break.
It was
Yes.
the Game Lounge.
Oh, one game that I know I didn't talk about. I played PAX Pamir. And I did not like it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, played PAX Pamir
Just
2nd
don't like
edition.
heavy games anymore? Or
I think that's what it is.
it's only D&D now.
Yeah.
God,
That would not. I feel like that's not the first time I've heard that for somebody.
I almost wish. No, it seemed a little swingy with some of the card draws, and I'm definitely gonna give it another shot. I loved the board presence. I loved the components. I thought that was all really good. It just felt a little weird, and I think some of it, Paul kind of felt the same way. Like, and we think maybe it's like not
It's a
3-player.
Okay.
We want to try it at 4 or 5 because it really can. At 3, especially, I feel like it really becomes a zero-sum game of like, all right, whoever's currently winning, the other two just will make sure to not work with them.
Right.
And then it's a heavy enough, deep enough game that I feel like you need to just play it more to understand kind of what's going on. So I still have it because Lance had given it to me. He got an extra one when he did the Kickstarter pledge, and so he just straight up gave it to me. So I still have it. If I end up not wanting it, I'm just going to give it back to him and let him pass it on to somebody else who might actually want it. But for now, I'm going to hold on to it until I have a chance to try it at least one more time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those are 3 things that I know I played.
Kind of game is it?
It is an area control.
Yeah, all right. Uh-huh.
An area control tableau building game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it takes place in Africa, or not Africa, Afghanistan.
A lot of mistakes today.
I know. I haven't done this in like a month. In Afghanistan, back in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, I think is the time frame.
Okay.
And basically you're carving up Afghanistan, and so there's 3 main factions at play. There's the British, there's the Russians, and there's the Afghan, like, tribal leaders. And you're basically taking on the role of like a small minor faction who is trying to gain influence by playing these 3 factions off each other.
Warlords or something like that?
And so at different times, you're allied with different ones of those 3 factions. And that will determine which pieces matter for you in that little area control kind of thing you're doing on the board.
Gotcha.
And then you build your own tableau of like people who are in your court or whatever that give you abilities and things. It has some really cool mechanics. I think there's some really cool things there. The game just kind of, I won even, and I still kind of came away with it like, I don't know.
Looks
So,
interesting.
Yeah. The components are freaking great. I love the components, but
Yeah, I had seen it at Gen Con. Someone was selling them. I think it was the people that do like Dragoon and where we played Inhuman Condition.
Oh, yeah.
That people were selling it there.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So that's what I've played. For sure, that's 3 games I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's been other things. It's been, like I said, almost a month. And I know I've played other stuff, but nothing that's really jumping to mind.
You know what? Something that you did play that you didn't talk about?
What?
Cabo.
I played Cabo this past Wednesday. That's right. Jeff finally introduced me to Cabo. And Jeff, you want to start talking about that, and I'll chime in with my thoughts about Cabo at the end?
So I taught 7 to 12 people Cabo that night.
That sounds about right.
It was like we started playing Cabo, and then it was 3 new players and me, and then we played one hand, and then one of them was like, I'm out, it's a memory game, and I just can't play these.
That was Andy.
Yep. And then Heather stepped in.
Okay.
And I taught her.
Yeah.
And then you were going to step out for a newcomer to board game night.
Correct.
But she still had a vertical ID from North Carolina, and they were just like, nope, can't take your vertical IDs. And so she left instead of hanging around.
Correct.
Because at the brewery, she couldn't have beer. So then I didn't have to teach that. And then we play, and then David. So I definitely taught 4 people Cabo that night.
I think 5.
5?
I think you taught 5.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just 4.
Yes.
We played with 5. You were the 5th.
Yeah, and then there was another guy. I think Kevin.
But I don't think he actually ended up playing, did he?
Yeah, he played. He stepped in after
he did, a hand.
He stepped in. It was after the second hand. In the third hand, he stepped in, and we just gave him the lowest score.
No, that was Heather. Heather's the one who took the low score, and I thought David played till David left at the end of the night. We never replaced him.
Yeah, but then we started up another hand.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Anyway, not important.
So we played a bunch of Cabo. Nothing spectacular happened, but I still continued to like Cabo, and I like some things they did in Silver.
Yeah.
That I wish Cabo had.
Okay.
But I still prefer Cabo over the Silver.
Right on.
Because the guy that stepped in with the lowest score had hit exactly 100, and everyone else was in like the mid 80s. And so his next hand, he got dealt the hand and just immediately called Cabo because everyone else was like 35 points above him. And Silver stops that because you start with 5 and you have to do at least one exchange before you can call the end of the round.
Yep.
Where Cabo does not do that.
Okay.
So that's what I like, because he's basically like, I can just call Cabo. Everyone else is probably going to have more than 15, and I'm going to win.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's a deep flaw that is in the Cabo land.
Yeah, I could see that. For me, I really feel like it probably, at least the game we played of it, would have been better if we'd played to like, say, 50 instead of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the last few hands started to just kind of get like, all right.
Everyone just keeps going for the lowest score they can get.
Yeah.
And it just drags.
Yeah, because we were almost playing through the entire deck every time. Like, people weren't being very aggressive with their Cabos.
Yeah, you just need to sort of just call it.
And
it was a bunch of new players, too, so maybe not. That might come out more in someone that had played it more than one round.
True.
And then Silver, also, it's 4 rounds per hand. That's it. Or 4 rounds per game.
Which that I
hands.
like that.
4 hands
that
per game.
Sounds
and then
much
that's
nicer.
the score. Yeah.
Because that's one problem I have with like just the base golf. Is that you play like 18, 9 or 18.
You play 9 or 18.
Yeah, but it goes so much quicker than either one of those games.
Yeah, it does go way quicker.
Which I know because I also played that
Played golf
yes.
while we were playing Cabo.
Yes.
So, but yeah. Okay, well, there's 4 games I've played.
Yeah.
And 1 you've played. Jeff, any others that you've played that you want to talk about that aren't Blood Bowl or Kingdom Death? Because we'll get to those.
Well, you did. I played 4-player Clask for the first time.
Yes.
I had shipped that to Paul from Gen Con across the country and didn't get a chance to play it at Zuni Street because everyone was done playing it by the time I showed up.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. Played like 5 rounds of 4-player
A very
Clask.
small amount of it.
Yeah.
It's not the 20 that we played last week. So yeah.
You played 20 games?
I won it. It felt like that.
Okay.
But
not in a bad way.
No.
Okay. It was good. It was a lot of fun. We played with another guy. I don't remember his name, but he was not a big dexterity fan. But at the end, he was like, "Oh, they made a dexterity game fun." So, Clask still continues to be great.
Yeah.
I think out of the 5 games, I think only Zach or I won any of those 5.
Oh, jeez.
And then I think I was up 3-2 on Zach at the end of those 5.
Yes.
Wes lost a lot.
Yeah.
And
So many.
all of those.
Yeah, that's why I retired from Clask, because that's just all I would do is lose.
Well, that's why you play the 4-player one. It's a lot more chaotic.
I would
Yes.
still definitely end up flicking my piece just across the board every time, I'm sure.
Well, that is a lot easier to do now because you have less
Yeah.
less space in order to do that.
Indeed. Yeah, 4-player Class is a lot of fun. I look forward to playing more 4-player Class.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the component quality is a little nicer on the magnets that are in the 4-player version. So they're hardier. They really connect to when you ever get close to any of those little white magnet pieces. Or the other ones were a little lazier on their heat-seeking magnetic powers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I played.
Jesus, Jeff. You had 2 weeks.
I've
you've talked about other
recorded
shows.
multiple
That's true.
episodes,
That's
sir.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't
We've talked about the games we've played,
yes,
sir.
don't forget to jam that right up your butt.
real deep in there. All right, Zach, what about you?
Like I said, played golf, and it's still bullshit, but I do enjoy it because you can just sort of. I like games where you really have no control, and so that way you can get overtly competitive in something you have no say in. And so I ended up beating Paul on that one, and so it was fun to gloat about so much more immense skill in golf, which obviously isn't a thing. Then
the skill of golf.
Yeah,
The card game.
no, yeah, and then played some cribbage after that, which ended up winning on those. Speaking of games with a lot of luck in them.
Did you have your fancy new board?
No.
Okay,
I won.
that's probably
I told you. I won 2 games, so I wasn't playing on mine. And then I played another exit game.
Okay.
It was the Sinister Mansion.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones I'd brought over here on Friday.
Oh, yeah. I wish we had time to play.
Yeah. But we didn't, so we ended up doing that one. It was... We ended up only getting like 6 stars on it.
Oof.
There are definitely a couple things that we should have gotten that were like, I don't understand this. Let's just look at a clue. And then you look at the first clue and it's just like, oh, God damn it. I did that classic Zach thing in Exit.
You cut too many things?
I cut, yeah.
Oh, God.
To be fair, we misunderstood what was going on, and something matched up that it was just random happenstance that made it look like a number. And so we were like, let's start doing that.
Don't let Zach near the scissors.
Yeah, right. It didn't end up messing the game too much. So
Well, that's good at least.
yes. So now I just have one I need to play besides that 2-parter, and then I will have played all of the exits.
Okay.
I liked it enough. There was 1 or 2 things that we thought were a little annoying about it, but I'd definitely say in the top half of the exit games.
What was the general theme of this one?
Sinister Mansion. So this one is I don't know, it's one of those things, like the story was like, you got back from an island or whatever from all the and you're like, I'm just gonna stay home, not go anywhere. And then you get a message from your neighbor that's like, hey, can you come and feed my cat? And
then the adventure begins.
yes. And so it is so I'm still looking forward to try that 2-player or that 2-part one. So.
Okay.
And then actually earlier today, we played after Kingdom Death Monster, we played Saturn, that dexterity game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I haven't played Saturn in a long time. Saturn's great.
Yeah, it's just you have 3 rings that are all balancing at different points, and you're basically like placing Saturn's moons-esque, or like you're filling up its rings, but they're different wooden sizes, or sizes of wooden balls, wooden spheres.
Yes.
That sounds a little better, I guess. And you just don't want any of the rings or the last ring to touch the ground, the table, and then it's just all about balancing and stuff like that. So, what did you think of it, Jeff?
I'd played it before.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And it's a fun little balancing dexterity game that could probably use some better color. It's got red, blue, dark purple, and light purple.
Uh-huh.
The dark purple and light purple, one of those could probably have been a different 4th color.
Yeah, like a yellow or something.
For sure. But otherwise, it's a fun game. But as soon as you ever mess up and you take the piece off and put it back into your collection, if no one else does that, whoever places their last, everyone else gets one more turn.
Yeah.
So that means whoever screwed up and someone else didn't,
Mm-hmm.
the equal number of times is going to lose.
Yes.
Okay.
So you kind of want to be risky after you screw up, but that will cause you to screw up more, which means you just fall more and more behind.
Is really what happened to Paul in that second game.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
And happened to me in the first game.
Yes, it did.
But not as bad as Paul's in the second game.
I want to say 4 times he had done it, and it's just...
Yeah, and that's just, you're just not in the game anymore.
Yeah, yep. But I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
dexterity games.
I think Paul said it was his most expensive game he owns.
For dexterity.
For dexterity, okay.
Because I would assume Kingdom Death costs a little more than that.
You could get probably, 7 copies of Saturn for the Kingdom Death cost.
Right. But speaking of, before that game of Saturn, we played ourselves about 6 hours of Kingdom Death.
Yes,
Oh,
we
boy.
did.
Yeah. Oh boy is how I would describe how it went.
Yeah. Not our greatest of all sessions of Kingdom Death Monster.
And in fact, I would say one of our worst.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I know you'd mentioned amputations being relevant earlier, so...
Yeah.
Dismemberment.
Dismemberments.
So we started at
Lantern Year 10.
Lantern Year 10, and we had kind of done half the year, and then
they're already ready for you to tune out, Adrian. Just an FYI. Hey, this is now the chance for you to engage with chat.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I've got it pulled up.
Okay, good. Good.
So we did half the year because the second half of the year we would have to run into the Manhunter. The Manhunter was the guy with all the fancy spike traps and stakes and guns and wrestling moves.
And wouldn't you know it,
someone fucked up the setup for the level 1 Manhunter last go round.
And included cards that should only be in a level 3 or 4 Manhunter.
Oh, dear God.
So all the pit traps, all the stakes, and all of the, I don't remember what the other card was, but basically he didn't have any of those in his original like hit location / trap deck. And we still beat him. It didn't go well, but it happened. And then someone actually read the cards. That's me. That I'm pointing at. And I was like, oh, we take all of these out, and only at certain levels do we add them back in.
Yep.
It still didn't go great, though. He's still hard.
Yeah.
A lot of bone darts, which are the really cheap, easy, like ranged weapon in the game. Then we went through him, and did anyone die on the Manhunter?
I think we had one person die.
One person die on the
I
Manhunter.
don't think we fought anything today and somebody didn't die.
Yeah, it was a rough day. We've been trying to send out like newer people to try and level them up, and not taking any of our real like hardcore veteran people.
Yeah.
Then since that happens in the middle of like the settlement phase, and then you just continue on, we went through and we're like, let's fight a level 2 Phoenix. I don't think we had ever fought a level 2 Phoenix before.
And especially not in this. Like, the problem is that we have, like, this one we're making, like, this campaign's about, like, making superpower. Right? Yeah.
Like, and it's really easy to make really good people.
So we got cocky.
And we took, like, a bunch of just new people.
Yeah.
With a bunch of good gear. But we'd never fought a level 2 Phoenix before. And in previous sessions, we have fought the Phoenix, and the Phoenix has, the very first time we ever fought it, it completely ruined us.
Yes.
Like, absolutely destroyed us. Other times we fought the Phoenix, it was sort of just like, and we've smashed this level 1 Phoenix, so we're just going to be like, let's do a level 2. So we did. And we absolutely got fucking smashed into the ground.
Yep.
Just killed after killed after killed. The Phoenix controls time, so he gives you a bunch of age tokens, and then when he can't attack something, he just takes those age tokens and just like, all right, you age 4 years for every age token you have, and if you age more than 15, you just stop existing / die.
Yep.
And he did that a bunch. I don't think he killed anyone with age tokens.
He killed Dan, I think.
Okay.
Or Paul. I think he killed both of them with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just murdered the shit out of everyone else.
Yes.
Generally. One of his big things is he has big wings, so he just kind of makes a big gust of wind and knocks you back 7 spaces, and your regular movement is 5, so you're never actually getting back to attack, which happened to me for like 5 rounds, and I was doing very well with that character at the time, and just couldn't attack. And by the end of it, we had 2 wounds left on the Phoenix of its starting, 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And just wiped the whole group. And all 4 were dead.
Yeah. Except one of them just randomly appeared back at the settlement.
Yeah, if you are defeated by the Phoenix, it just sort of like one of the guys just comes back and just wanders back into the
it's just
settlement.
like, I never was there.
But your like experience and stuff is reset. It's fucked, as is everything. So after the level 2 Phoenix absolute trouncing, we decided we got a fun event. So Thursby had a character that had the flower bow, and he died during it. But he had another little item on him that was like a flower that he had gotten from the Flower Knight. And
it's a virus, basically.
It's a virus. So we got the Flower Knight virus, specifically the Warm virus. But it's really cool. You nominate a survivor back at camp, and then they like shove this flower down their throat, and then it like grows and
into their brain.
Yeah. What was the name? Like, it wasn't like host, the guest?
Guest, yeah.
You can then take pieces of whoever died with it and claim it as your own. So his bow guy that was amazing died, but this Warm virus just lets you take on all of their skill points and understanding and courage and just basically become that person that just died.
Okay.
So it was like a free life.
It was, and not just that, it was his bow person, but with pretty much none of the negative drawbacks, and you were at age 1 basically again.
Yeah, so you could continue to age and get more skills and more cool stuff.
Yeah.
Because as you go on hunts, you get hunt experience, and then after they get so much, they just retire.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Then we did a Screaming Antelope level 2. Real easy, no problems. We've crushed these things multiple times. Until I take the, we're running out of characters that aren't terrible because mine keep dying over and over and over and over.
That is a theme of this campaign, is Jeff cannot get a single character. I want to
Beyond
even
level experience 2?
Yeah.
I can't get weapon specialization, which happens at age 2.
You can't get weapon proficiency because they die before they even have a chance to gain it.
Yes, to start gaining it. So the Screaming Antelope proceeds to crush this pretty okay character. They have acid palms, which is really good with the fist and tooth, unarmed combat, and a bunch of other really good stuff. And proceeds to hydraulic press my skull into the ground, as is the Screaming Antelope trample tradition. You take damage to the head, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Especially because this character had, anxiety?
I don't think that one had anxiety.
I couldn't spend or gain survival, which lets
apathy,
which lets you dodge or really do anything. And they also had vermin obsession, which meant if there was a bug space, they also couldn't do it. They were always doomed, so they could never spend it. So either way, I couldn't spend it. So I died. And I think I was the only one that died on that one.
No. So what also happened on that one is the Screaming Antelope has a giant mouth on its stomach,
yes.
and occasionally
I've seen the mini. It's horrifying.
Occasionally it will eat somebody, and so
which hasn't happened in a very long time.
But my character was next to it, and it decided to eat me, and then my character tried to stick an arm out of the mouth, and then the mouth closed down, and I dismembered my arm. I tried to stick a leg out, and then it dismembered my leg.
All you have to do to get him out is do 2 wounds in 1 round between everyone else's actions, which did not happen.
No.
So he had to roll on the table again, and that's where the leg came off. So he now was missing an arm and a leg. We did do a 50-50 roll because he previously had a broken leg, and we needed to figure out which leg was bitten off. And so we rolled to see if it was the good leg or the bad leg. And which leg got bitten off?
The non-broken leg.
The good leg got bitten off.
So I was hobbling around on a broken leg.
On a broken leg.
So I obviously asked Jeff for advice.
I didn't have any experience, and I had at least one good leg at the time, so I couldn't really say whether or not. I would not recommend putting weight on the broken leg, however, because that's probably pretty rough.
So you can't use the broken leg like a pogo stick, is what you're saying?
No, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But you were at -3 movement?
-3 movement.
Yeah. We got you back to town, and then we have another character that can make prosthetic limbs.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. And,
so really, that's why I wish...
And that's something specific to this campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I needed is for the other broken leg to get bitten off, and then I can make a new prosthetic limb, and it'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No. And it's not hard to make those legs.
It's just
prosthetics, right?
two endeavors.
Yeah. And a bone.
Yeah.
Which we have plenty of because
you gain a bone because the leg's gone.
Oh.
You take the leg off, you just put that, and it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Yeah.
So we did that. We killed the Screaming Antelope, et cetera, et cetera. And then in our last year of the campaign, we got our conviction, which is getting barbarian or romance or something like that.
Yeah.
It's better embracing the darkness or ooh, we want the darkness to be mysterious still. So we got the one that has plus strength, which is barbaric.
Okay.
And then we got our next event, which is the Lion Knight, which is a giant production/play that you're fighting through. Everyone gets the villain, the Jester, the Joker, Damsel, and the one you died with.
Oh yeah, I was the king or the
yes.
Yeah.
The Lion Knight is interesting. He's really fast and speedy and has a lot of damage, but you can stand in certain spots on the board with these special terrain tiles and make him be less fast or be able to use your survival at all.
Yeah.
So the Lion Knight proceeded to kill one person, which was Zach.
Yeah, so we decided to bring our good characters this time.
Some people brought good characters. I brought a new character.
Yeah. And so that was me and Paul decided to bring our good characters. I think maybe even Dan too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I think he had his bow person.
So I brought one of the two we brought 2 people of the constellations.
If you don't remember, Zach got to clone himself.
Yes.
That's right. That's
And
right.
So he
So
had
I
two
remember that.
guys.
I brought my clone, and then and I actually had decent armor and everywhere except for I didn't have any insanity, and
which is brain armor.
which is brain armor. And one of the first things he did is he did a soliloquy, which you then took 2 insanity damage from that because he just went to the stage, started talking, and then I took a severe injury on my head, or in a
brain.
because of that, and then I rolled and I got a 1, so my guy instantly died from that.
Yep.
He just started
Fantastic.
talking, and then it just
Boom.
blew my
Yes. So you're out.
Yep.
And then we did some good work on him for a little while, and then he started targeting Paul with his fantastic character, his sword master.
Yes.
And then proceeded to we traded around the roles. I think Paul ended up getting the villain. One of the hooks of the Lion Knight is this is all a play. He wants to kill the villain.
Okay.
And if he kills the villain, whoever that player is, the event immediately ends and we lose because he killed Paul, who was the villain.
Yep.
And there was nothing we could do about it in any way, shape, or form because it was like,
Way to go, Paul.
yeah. I believe he
Dying
killed
and
you
ending things.
with, was it 30 damage to the head?
No, that was something else.
That was something else. That
Yeah.
did happen though.
Yeah, I took 33 damage to the head from something.
Good God.
Yeah.
Did you die?
No, I didn't die from that.
No, he did not. Oh, that was the Manhunter because he
Yes.
like boxed your ears and you became deaf.
No, that was Paul.
that was Paul. That's right.
Yeah.
So then that immediately ended with
No, that was
two-
that was how the Phoenix killed me, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he just bit my head for 33
And then-
damage.
yeah, and the Phoenix had like a -3 to every serious injury roll.
Yeah.
So you were always dying on a 5 or less.
Yeah.
Ugh. Never fight the Phoenix, everyone. That's no, fuck the Phoenix. If you fight it, fight a level 1. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Everything else is terrible. So then the Lion Knight just killed 2 of us, and then we moved on to be done with the session for the day because we had lost 2 of our best people.
And that was today's, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But something I brought back from Gen Con, something that was new that they had released they've never released anything like it before, and it wasn't Kickstarter and it wasn't part of any set, was the Vignette.
Vignette of Death.
And that adds the Giga Lion into a sort of like one-shot scenario that if you beat that, you can add it into your campaigns. It's sort of like
Okay.
It's like a white lion that's only a level 2 or 3 and is really tough.
He's bigger. He has hooked claws instead of regular claws.
Yes, he is much larger. He's
Instead of a 2x2, he was a
the
3x3.
of tile space.
Gotcha.
But you play with sort of like pre-made survivors that have their own cards and stats, and they even have like a pre-printed like equipment grid that's
Yeah.
all pre-printed on there.
Okay.
That was super cool. You kind of get to play with a mid-level campaign against this fancy lion.
Yep.
And then when you beat it, you get to just add the Giga Lion Hunt into your campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fanciest thing or the biggest change for him is that usually instead of grabbing one person next to him, he can grab anybody next to him. And then if he ever runs into you, he will grab you as well. He is a super grabby lion.
Which means he just takes you and then he moves away and then he moves away again. If he happens to get that before his just, I do this every turn
Yeah.
type
And
ordeal.
every time he grabs you, he would do at least 2 damage.
Yeah.
And possibly cause you to bleed out too.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So he's not the worst lion
No.
that you could fight, but he is different.
Okay.
Because of he has a special hit location card. It's like the paunch or
The
something.
paunch,
Yes. And then he starts with in this vignette, he starts with a very specific deck of specific cards. And then he starts with one on top in either when you would hunt him or in this vignette, which means he goes through his deck and then he puts all of the moods out that
He
you
goes
get.
through 10 cards and then pulls out any moods.
Yes.
Which moods suck. So
Moods are tough because they can give him plus damage that doesn't go away until he kills someone, which in this scenario he did on turn 1.
yes.
Turn 1, he killed Thursby just immediately. Just like, I'm going to do, let's say, all the damage to your chest, and then I've pulled your heart out and you're dead.
So have you guys tried not dying and losing and being awful?
I've really tried that over and over. It's not working.
He's not good at that. Yeah.
So yeah, the vignette was super cool though.
Yeah.
It was something unique, something they haven't really done before. And now we have the Giga Lion that we can hunt in our regular old campaign that adds some extra stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're almost done, Boyd. All right. Calm yourself.
Just keeps jumping on there every so often. Still on Kingdom Death? Still
Yes.
on Kingdom Death?
But now we're done.
Also, Andrew, we are done
All right.
because he doesn't want to listen to this.
Yes. So, done with Kingdom Death Monster. Jeff, is there a bloody minute?
Nope.
No bloody minute.
Nope. Preseason's still going on. Tournament's going to be this next Saturday. Can't make it. I have class. So going to miss out on the corpse.
Bummer. And there might not be a bloody minute right now, but you should definitely listen to the emails because there's an email titled Blood Bowl Questions.
Yes.
So make sure to listen to emails.
And correct me when I will be inevitably wrong.
Correct. Right on. Well, that kind of wraps up Banter and what we've been playing then. So we can move into some news and Kickstarter coverage.
Starting with news.
Yeah.
As is tradition. Light News Week. Starting with news this week, we have a wonderful, the greatest art I've ever seen in my life of Puerto Rico Deluxe was announced.
Oh.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think we called it Blonde Ripped Jeff on the cover of that one.
I was definitely getting a blonde ripped Jeff vibe from the guy who's I guess I think they're like tobacco leaves. He's like loading them on the dock, and he's being ogled by a wealthy merchant man and a woman in the back with fresh tobacco leaves that have not been dried. Very green, leafy tobacco there. They've done nothing to try and update the art. It's still just real bad. I mean, it's Rio Grande. They don't care. They don't care. They've never seemed to care about any of that. It's real bad. In the future, I'll plan ahead for these, and I'll be like, boop, and push a button, and then we'll have.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
Like on the stream, one of the things will pop up, like, hey, and that way you can see the picture that we're mocking. If you're playing along on the stream.
Yep.
But
not today.
Yeah, it'll have all the expansions. The release.
New buildings, the nobles, the 2 expansions.
Yeah. Which I didn't even know existed until
Neither
now,
did I.
So that's kind of cool. I think this is also kind of interesting considering we've had a lot of Puerto Rico played lately. Speaking of like what we've been playing, I think it was post my last stream that we had the 2 simultaneous games of Puerto Rico.
I think that was on the
show
July.
Up. Was that?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I couldn't remember for sure. So
new cover and art, dual-sided building tiles with alternative artwork.
Yeah. So if you're wanting a fancier version of Puerto Rico, then there it is.
Yeah, it'll be around. Deluxe isn't limited, so.
Right on. Next up in news.
Next up on news, So You've Been Eaten was announced, and it seems like a really interesting, like 1-on-1 / 1-on-0 / 0
on 0.
Yeah.
It's like you're a space miner and you got eaten by a monster, and this is the guide to tell you how to deal with being eaten by said monster.
Yeah, which is just odd for a theme. Like, oh yeah, I have to get inside this monster to harvest space crystals.
Well, it's more of I'm already in this. I might as well keep doing what I'm doing. And then you just have to get out before the space monster digests you.
Finishes digesting you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you can play as either the miner versus someone playing as the monster. You can play against an AI monster. You can play against an AI miner. Or you can just have them both go at it and just sort of see what happens.
I almost want to get it just to do that. Like,
just Automa on Automa.
Yeah. I'm curious now, like other games that have automas, like how well they would play each other.
Right.
Like with the new Root expansion that has like the updated AIs. Like, could they actually play a functional game against each other?
See?
Yeah. I know.
I think that's a big thing in war games that have AI systems. You just fight the AIs against each other. So that's a big wargaming thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 0 player.
Right. Yeah. The little bit of like art they have on this article looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested in checking it out.
Yeah, I definitely am.
And then sort of we talked about it already. Tapestry got announced, but they had a big cool like stop motion video of like an overview of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm much more interested than I was about just like here's a Civ building game. Some details are hitting.
Cool.
And that'll be trickling out over a couple weeks on their Facebook.
Yeah.
But I would recommend looking at that cool. He got like a stop motion animation company to make the overview video for.
Nice.
That looks cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Tapestry. I'm interested.
Yeah. I'm meh. We'll see.
That seems to be the case for most of Stonemaier for you.
Yeah. Even the stuff of his I like. I don't super love. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll check it out. I'm just not really aware of much of it right now. So not excited yet. Maybe I will be.
Maybe.
That's it for news.
On to Kickstarters. The first up in Kickstarters this week
Yes.
is Fiasco. Very well funded, 448,000 of its $10,000 goal. Almost 2,800 backers and 2 weeks left to go. And then you can pledge this one for its most popular level of $30 for the junior crime boss. Sorry, $75.
Get it together.
But that gets you a pre-release playtest draft on top of a finished product.
Yes. So Fiasco is, for those of you who don't know, it's like a GM-less kind of tabletop game that, like, I don't really know a lot about it, to be honest. Like Fiasco itself, I've never played.
I remember
You've played?
Yeah, I played it with Kyle and David and Taylor.
But that must have been a long
if
time
that dates
ago.
it, yeah. But yeah, it was basically a GM-less sort of role-playing game.
Like 3 to 5 players,
Yeah.
plays in a couple
It's
hours.
supposed to be like a
dice.
what did they describe? Like a Coen Brothers sort of movie.
Yes.
And
Stupid, disastrous situations
Yeah.
and getting yourself out of them.
yes, and it was like you're just basically talking through a series of scenes. But this was back when I wasn't nearly as comfortable doing any sort of role-playing things, so it was like I was not a fan of it after, but I'd probably like it better now.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see what changes they made with this, because that was just a book, basically.
Yeah, so one of the things that they've definitely done is they've made it like more decks of cards now. So you end up with like objects and relationships and like thing you need and like locations that you kind of use to put this all together just to help, I guess, kind of give it some structure underlying that GM-less story that you're doing there. And yeah, so you start with the relationship and then you start adding needs and locations and objects to drive the story.
There was even a tabletop episode from July 2012 on Fiasco.
Yep.
Okay.
Back when Will Wheaton
Yeah.
used to do board game videos.
And Mahai Dungeon Delvers, when Esthanar Dawn, our current campaign, wraps up in like 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to do a Dread episode, a Fiasco episode, and then a Blades in the Dark, or the one that Taylor got us. But we're going to do those as some like little quick one-shots as we prepare the next big campaign.
I don't know how I feel about them encroaching on our dread.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming for it.
There's got to be royalties in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Not for you.
I better not hear any sort of Southern dinosaur lawyer anywhere around there.
I'm definitely going to have him as like an intro character who just is immediately murdered.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that, I guess.
He just couldn't climb.
Yeah.
That will be what kills him.
Okay.
He fails
He'll
the
be, like,
climb.
trying to get up a tree or something.
Gotcha.
And, I don't know.
A ladder, maybe.
A lion will eat him. A short ladder.
Yeah, short ladder.
Like he could easily just climb onto whatever it is he's trying to get onto, but he's so focused on the ladder, that's what gets him killed.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so that's Fiasco though. There's the new edition going on now. The Kickstarter has a better explanation of how to play with the new cards and like how you actually use it to connect stories between the different players who are playing and things like that. And then there's an engine deck that does scenes and acts and things like that to like I said, it's just really meant to give it a little bit more structure and help it play, I think, a little bit more efficiently.
Right.
But it's supposed to still be a lot of the same Coen Brothers ridiculous shenanigans that you might know and love from Fiasco. And if you don't know and love it, you might check it out because I keep hearing really good things. Clue from Dungeon Delvers is going to run that one shot. She seemed pretty excited about it. So I look forward to it.
Neat.
Yeah.
Next up on Kickstarters is Shovel Knight. Second try. Almost funded, 64,000 of its $70,000 goal, 1,000 backers, just over 2 weeks left to go. And you can get the old version with the minis for $70, or you can get the 2D standee version for $40.
Which, that was one of the changes they made, right?
That's the change they
Okay.
made. Yeah. I saw this at Gen Con. It had a cool little, like, rectangular board, like moving from like right to left as you were shovel knighting your way across the board, and fighting monsters and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to run with this one since you guys have actually played Shovel Knight.
I have not.
I have
played
not
Shovel
played
Knight.
Shovel Knight.
I have gone over a demo of Shovel Knight.
Oh, I could have sworn you played the actual like video game.
Oh no.
Oh, I have played Shovel Knight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But this-
I know nothing about Shovel Knight.
Same here.
You have a shovel, and
you're
it's
a knight.
2D,
Okay.
and it's sprites, and you bounce on things
Okay.
with your shovel, kind of like DuckTales.
Okay.
If you played the DuckTales game,
I
I've
think
not.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
but more to it than that with boss battles and things like that. But it's sort of like a moving board, so it turns it from a 2D to like flat, and then you're sort of moving across like top down 2D, trying to avoid spikes and fight monsters. It's like they call it a side scrolling dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard. I think there's another game that did something similar to that. Battle at Kemble's Cascade or something.
Oh yeah. Was that the like shooter, like
Yes.
space shooter
Yes.
game? Yeah, they made like an arcade cabinet for
Yeah.
it that didn't actually have a game. It was just like a cabinet that had all the art on it.
Not familiar with that one either.
It
Every
looks
so
neat.
often, I would see a used copy of it at Black and Red and be like, "Should I get that?" No.
Gotcha.
And that's as far as it went.
Anyway, back to Shovel Knight. Competitive game, 1 to 4 players, where you're different colored Shovel Knights, going around dealing out justice in spades. Solid pun. But you're trying to grab a bunch of loot and
Yeah, and you go to shop and upgrade and things like
yeah.
that. This campaign seems to have more like actually playthrough videos and how to play, and significantly more information on what this game is than the original launch.
Yeah. They show like here how you move along that board, and it's like they side scroll, and it reminds me of the digging mining board game that you had, Zach.
Motherload?
Motherload.
Super Motherload. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of that, only it's like each new tile is a strip.
Gotcha.
So you're only getting like the next section each time it moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had all the 3D models at Gen Con. They all looked great.
They look good on the Kickstarter here.
And they have some pre-painted ones that they show on here, but I don't think there is an option for pre-painted on the Kickstarter in any way.
Gotcha.
But the 2D standee things are all the sprites and stuff from the game, so those actually look pretty decent on top. So it's still, unless you're really looking for the
minis.
minis, the standee version might even be preferred by some people.
I've
Quite
definitely seen.
possibly.
I've seen some people say that they like that art a lot better. So.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, that's Shovel Knight Dungeon Duel. So you can go check that out if you want some sweet side-scrolling board game action.
Next up in Kickstarters is Burgle Bros 2, not Electric Boogaloo, even though he said he wanted to call it that.
Yeah. It's never Electric Boogaloo, unfortunately.
No.
Casino Capers
Yep.
in
Yes.
this case.
Very well funded. $212,000 of its $25,000 goal, over 4,000 backers, 2 weeks left to go, and you can get this for the whole pledge of $49 in your language of choice.
Of
French,
have-
Spanish, German, and English.
Yes.
So 4 languages. So not
your
necessarily
language of choice, as long as it's one of those 4 languages.
Yeah, you have 4 choices,
And you're
you
not-
get to choose.
And you're not going to get this game for any cheaper anywhere else, because when it goes to his store, that's probably how much or more that this
Yeah.
will cost. So now's the time.
Yes. So this is a follow-up to Burgle Bros, in case you didn't guess by it being called Burgle Bros 2.
Yep.
And now you are doing even crazier co-op heists. You're taking on casinos now.
Mhm.
Again, heavily implied from the name.
Implication.
Yes.
Yes.
So few new things for this one.
And Zach has played this.
I have played
in
this.
fact.
Yes, which we'll kick it over to you here in a second to explain like how it's played.
Okay.
But it's 1 to 4 players, plays in about 60 minutes, which is roughly true for Burgle Bros.
Yes.
it's not an expansion. It's a whole new game with a whole new way to run a heist. You still need to work together to explore the building and avoid getting caught, but they've reinvented a lot of stuff. So you have gear that now can be used on anybody's turn, not just your own. New rooms, like a lot of casino-themed one, the pool, blackjack table, buffet, dance floor, things like that. Chips that are placed throughout the casino that are different perks and pitfalls, rewards and punishments kind of thing.
Yep.
In addition to walls, locked doors block your path. And then you can choose to like leave them open or close them, which I'm assuming will interact with like line of sight for the like security people and things like that. A hunt mode. So if you take too long, you start actively being hunted. They start to figure out like, hey, there's people here.
Yep.
Somebody blew a hole in this floor. We better start looking for who did it.
Yeah.
Finales that are basically what you have to finish after you get the goods out of the safe. And then there'll be some new content, almost like legacy style, as you complete finales that it will
Unlock stuff for like campaign stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So that's roughly what's going on with it. Zach, you got to play it. Tell us about it.
So a couple of the main differences, it is, like you said, you're not thieves trying to, hide into a building and then steal from various safes. You are trying to con a casino. And so like you're all there. You don't have stealth tokens. Instead, it relies on you not getting heat. So anytime the pit boss or the security guards, I forget what they call them here, bouncers, I think.
Yes.
They walk by you, you will get heat, and then after you get a certain amount of heat, that's when you will lose. Versus losing stealth tokens, like in the first one.
Right.
There's just 2 floors instead of 1. And then the like you said, the rooms are all casino themed stuff. So it's like poker and things like that. And it still has a lot of those same rooms of like you have to spend an extra action to do something here to not cause I forget what it's called, but to get heat or to cause the like alarms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And instead of having to open a safe in each floor, there's only one. It's a big safe at the top of the floor, or it's on the second floor. But you basically have to exactly are those things. So basically, you're sending up like codes to. You have to find a control room on the first floor, and then have someone there when someone's trying to hack the safe, and you're sending up dice to them in order for them to unlock stuff.
Okay.
And then when you unlock the safe, you then flip over whatever your scenario is, and that will tell you what the finale is. So sort of like Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah.
That once the haunt's revealed, then you have like, oh, this is what we're actually doing here. That's what flipping over the finale will do here.
Okay.
Yeah. And so instead of having one power that only you can use, like you said, on your turn, you will be getting 3 different powers that are one-offs, but they are stronger than they were in Burgle Bros. And like you said, you can use them on other people's turns.
Okay.
So they feel very impactful when we were playing.
Right on.
Yeah. And it felt like Burgle Brothers, but I really liked what was going on. I thought the locked doors, like you were saying, if you choose not to lock them and then a guard goes through that locked door, they're mad that it's not locked, and then it causes them to move more.
Oh, okay.
So you can choose to lock it, but it's harder for you to get into a locked door. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And it looks like they're working with game trays.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the first game had you can make 3D prints of it, but it basically had like a tower of like 3 stories where you could actually build the game. And so it actually felt like you were going up. So this one, it looks like it's just designed, or it's developed in the actual box to do that.
Yes. Yeah, like it folds open and then sits on, like, there's like 4 little stands that are inside of it that then get stuck in there, and then there's a little neoprene mat, and then you put the tiles on it. It looks really cool. Definitely go check it out on the Kickstarter. Yeah, it looks awesome the way they have that set up.
But I like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It especially like if you own Brugle Bros 1, I still think this is a great addition to it. It didn't,
especially if you really liked it and you want more, but different.
Yeah,
cool. That is Burgle Bros 2: The Casino Capers,
and that's it for Kickstarter.
That wraps up news and Kickstarters. So, Jeff, you and I are drinking on the show in true fashion. What are we drinking? Let's do a little what are we drinking sesh.
I'm drinking water, so just get that out of the way.
I brought Zach water. I am drinking some Firestone Walker Easy Jack IPA.
Ooh, plug in the beer.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Gotta get an alcohol sponsor.
Yeah. I'm doing a Epic Brewing.
Just really push it. Just get it right in that frame.
Yeah, there we go. It's Coppercone Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we don't really get it down here much. It's mainly in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Ah. Looks real good in that glass, though.
Yeah,
I should have grabbed a glass.
I haven't had it in a long time, so
I was lazy. I just grabbed a can. But cool. All right. Well, we've done banter. We've done what we've been playing. We did news. We did Kickstarters. And now we're back from our break, which means listener feedback.
Starting with
emails at milehighgameguys.com.
I just want to let you know that's what he looks like all the time. Every time he's getting ready for emails.
You keep referencing the video that not everyone's going to get.
I know. It's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. People can go watch it after the fact.
I mean, I'm sure we'll edit down the audio.
I mean,
There's a big break in there that probably people will not want to listen to.
Well, yeah, but you can then jump over to YouTube, find the big break, and then right at the end of it, see it come back and see you do the...
Yeah.
And talking about Lord.
And talking about Lord.
This first email is from the hater himself, Andrew, titled, Places That Are and Are Not Denmark. This came from our Clask Gen Con episode, I think.
Yes.
So like
one of your Gen Con episodes.
Day one Gen Con episode.
But I think it was the Clask one because you were talking about where Clask is from.
Yes, and did not do well. Let's review. These are the statements made by Jeff about the country that Clask is from. The Swedish or whatever dude, which we met like last year or the year before. He was at the Sun King beer tent with Clask.
Yes, he was.
Norway, yes. Dutch, Norway. Is Denmark the same as the Netherlands? Denmark, which I want to say is the Netherlands? No, that country. Denmark is the place Clask is from. Denmark is not and has never been the Netherlands. Neither has Norway, which I believe Zach had brought up at one point or another. Listen, I get it. The Netherlands is a confusing country. It's got two names, the Netherlands and Holland, and an adjective, Dutch, which I was confusing personally with Denmark.
Yeah.
That are completely unrelated to each other. All of that is only in English, by the way. In their own language, the Netherlanders live in the Netherlands and speak Netherlandish. Just to warm Jeff up a little bit, die Nederlanders wonen in Nederland en spraken Nederlands, which I feel is vaguely close to what he actually spelled out here. But it should not have come up at all, because the answer is Denmark, and Denmark is easy. The Danes speak Danish, a little harder. Dansk, Bor, Danmark, Og, Taler, Dansk.
I feel like none of that is even close.
Nope.
And you missed an I. You missed an I in there.
Was there an I in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, the Netherlands is next to Belgium, and they're stuck between France and Germany. It's definitely not part of Scandinavia. That's roughly equivalent to thinking New Mexico is part of the South, because it's next to Texas and is south of most of the United States. Scandinavia is a group of kingdoms that all used to be unified and that all speak mostly mutually intelligible Northern Germanic languages, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. In English, Iceland frequently is included in that group, but people from those countries would never call it Scandinavian. Wes was right. Finland is definitely not Scandinavian because it speaks a language completely unrelated to anything else anywhere in Europe except Estonian, Hungarian, and some tiny Siberian languages. Fun fact, the Finnish word for Finland is actually Suomi, which should give you a hint as to how different it is from anything else. Okay, now to really test you. The Finns live in Finland and speak Finnish. Suomat asuvat Suomessa ja fuvat Suomia. The Hungarians live in Hungary and speak Hungarian. Okay. Magyarok, Magyarországon, Elenk, Ace Magyarul Beszelnek.
I'm sure that was close.
Yes. I'm sure it was, I think it was spot on.
Yeah, okay.
Right. At least I've got a reason to hate you all again, the hater.
Yep.
P.S. For your visual learners, this Venn diagram map may help. And its various circles around Europe of where the Netherlands are versus what Scandinavia is versus what Nordic countries are. And that was very helpful. Next email. Thank you, Andrew, for your entertaining emails about things that we don't know.
Which is everything.
Yes. So next one's going to be hard. This one's from Paul. Not bullshit Paul, but a Paul. First email I have to speak up about this. I got to get a good breath in.
Yep.
Holy shit, this is the quality content I pay for. I had to stop listening to this podcast because, 15 minutes goddamn of Fast and Furious spin-off movie, and I am the fucking phone because I can't believe how much not board game I could get in the board game podcast, and you can slap the shit on the back of the box. They don't.
No,
I was gonna make it. They don't call you most podcasts for nothing. Am I right? Thank you very much for all the content, and I'm glad that it's been a year since I've been listening, and I still get the same quality, not board game content, and it's honestly the best. Sorry for no punctuation, but you don't pay me for periods or for me to send emails, so this is what you get. Oh yeah, hey there, Mile Guy Game Guys. I needed one breath. Hang on, I gotta send out I got to send Ant the email for the live Blood Bowl questions.
No, yeah, gotta let him know it's coming.
Texting. This next one's from Derek. Blood Bowl questions. Hey guys, love the show. I can appreciate the level of commitment you put into the hobby via the amount of recording that must be done to be the most podcast. I also generally match up with the games that you guys tend to enjoy as I get heavier into the hobby. My question to you is this as someone that doesn't usually take the time to write into a podcast. I'm taking a break from my solo play of Great Western Trail at the moment. Yes, I am playing a solo game while playing as two different people because the game is the tits. We still haven't done our hey, let's try Great Western Trail again.
Well, he got rid of his copy.
I still own a copy, so...
But I would still like to try it again at some point.
What does a person need to get into Blood Bowl? My question to you is that someone that doesn't usually take time to write a podcast, what does a person need to get into Blood Bowl?
Yep.
I have been doing a bit of research on Blood Bowl, but I'm not interested in the starting two factions that come with the base game of Blood Bowl. I strictly want to play halflings. Yes, I know they suck. They do suck slightly less now that they have positionals. What would someone that has 0 Blood Bowl accessories need in order to play a game with a buddy who already has Blood Bowl? The downside is that starter set comes with everything you need. It comes with 2 sets of dice. It comes with 2 teams. The only thing it really doesn't come with is paints and materials and super glue and stuff like that. But it's hard not to recommend getting that to start with, even if you're not interested in those 2 core teams. Yes, you can buy literally everything else there in better quality. You can get better pitches, you can get better dice, you can get better models and teams that you're interested in. But the price for what you get out of that core set to start playing is not bad. So I would recommend getting that core set, even if you're not interested in the teams. Because at worst, those teams you can sell off to people that need those positionals, because those teams you get don't actually get you everything you need or want to play those teams. You only get 2 Black Orcs, you only get 2 Blitzers. People want to pay $35 for those fucking Blitzers. You can make some money back.
Right.
There is a ton of options that are fairly decent. Impact Miniatures has a lot of really well-priced teams for pretty much anything that you want. Pitches that are nice out there are pretty expensive, like the ones that we got with Ant and the Kill League. They run $70+ just for that, and you can probably get a core set for not much more than that has all of those teams and things like that with it. So I still recommend the core set. And it comes with the rule book and stuff like that. But there's so many accessories now. They do a Spike magazine thing every couple months that has the new team rules and stuff like that. So that's an investment. So it depends on what team you want to play. The Halflings just came out recently, so they're probably pretty easily accessible. I want my own rules to read and don't want to have to rely on him for anything besides his team. He has an older version. The core set, it gets you a fairly current version. There's an almanac that has like the first 2 big collections in there. It's hardcover. And I mean, really, most of the rules are all pretty easily accessible online, and they haven't changed in quite a few years besides that new 2016 edition. The old like living rulebook and stuff like that is pretty available.
Yeah.
I came across all of these items on Miniature Market and wanted to know what the minimum would be to purchase, and then what would you guys recommend getting in addition? Core set. A couple of things to point out. I do plan to eventually get others involved and start a league at my local gaming shop. In order to do this, I think I need to be the first one that takes the plunge, though. That is probably recommended.
Yeah, somebody's got to be that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blood Bowl Almanac, which I talked about, $50. The 2016 edition, about a little under $100. A lot of money for the teams I wouldn't be playing, but would help me get others involved, I guess. That is like a core thing that Ant loves to do, Paul loves to do. They have a ton of teams, and they always are willing to lend out those teams, especially for tournaments or leagues, or you can play a whole season with those. And just having that first person that has like, oh, you want to play? Well, I have a team that I can let you play. That's really what really hooks in that first little heroin dose.
First one's always free.
First one's always free. The Halfling team, about $30. I'm assuming I need at least one of these, 2 for roster choices. I think the Halfling team box is actually pretty good, and you get everything that you need in that box, short of Treemen. Treemen, I think, are either something you're going to have to go to Forge World for, and they're fucking ridiculously expensive, or go to one of the old, like, pewter metal models that are also hard to find and look not modern in any way, shape, or form. Halfling dice. I've never played D&D and don't have many dice sitting around. The Blood Bowl block dice are unique, so you do need specific Blood Bowl dice to play.
Okay.
Beyond your 2d6. The 2d6 can literally be any 2d6, but the block dice, those are special. If you want the cool halfling ones, get the cool halfling ones, but there are tons and tons of dice out there. And that core sets come with 2 sets of them. The halfling pitch/dugout. I wouldn't have a field without a base game box, so I'm assuming I need this. The base game box does come with a pitch. This is a double-sided pitch, I believe, that they do now. The halfling one, it's whatever. You don't have to buy it unless you want multiple people.
Right.
And there's a bunch of pitches and stuff out there. Inducement cards. Not sure what the hell these are, but they sound cool. Don't look into them. They suck. Don't ever play with them. They are terrible. They add another random element into the game that you could just pull straight up luck out of. Ant has played with them before in another league in here, and they are just brutally overpowered if you get the right one. It's shit like you always you can make your opponent have to activate one of their players first every round.
Oof.
And you just choose their big guy, because then they can just be like, oh, he lonered out or just double skulled himself, and now I need to spend a reroll, and you just can get totally fucked by him. Inducement cards, we don't use them, and I would never recommend using them.
Yeah, you haven't even finished talking about inducement cards, and Ant already has typed, fuck the cards.
Yeah.
So, fuck the cards.
Halfling card pack, how much do these add? I think that's just inducement card packs. You don't need any. The cards do have like the star player cards on them, but you can easily find those stats online. Fumble Team Strategies is a perfect place to easily find all the stats for every team. I'll come to that later. Big concern is, do any of these things besides the base game give you the actual rules? Also, I noticed base game gave you measuring devices to play. Can I get those elsewhere? The rules in the base box, that's really all you need. The Spike magazines have the specific team rosters, and each of those is themed after a team. There's a Wood Elf one, there's a Dark Elf one, there's a Halfling one. All you need is that specific one for the roster you want to play. But like I said, those rosters easily available online, specifically Fumble.
Going back a step.
Yes.
For the Halfling card pack, Ant says nothing useful, completely useless.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking they were just like the new star players, but those are in the Spike thing.
Yeah.
Useless. I don't know much about them. The base game gives you measuring devices to play. The measuring devices are for passing. There is a much easier and more standard ruler that we use. It's a pre-made grid.
Yep.
It shows you how many spaces up, how many spaces over, what distance that is. Because the little measuring device thing is like, are you exactly on the center of whatever that space is? There's a pre-made grid. A lot of post-made, like all the pitches that we use that aren't GW have the little grid on the pitch, and it makes everything about passing 1,000 times easier.
Yeah, he says the charts are a safer way.
Yes, charts are much, 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 much safer. There's no like, I'm looking at from this direction. That looks like it's 7
I feel like
spaces.
I heard somebody say that before.
Yeah, that was a Reddit thing. So yeah, thanks for the input, fellas. Keep up the good work, and I'd appreciate it if you said the Lord's name in vain less. Just a personal thing. Don't have to include that in the show. If you read this, too bad. You put it in the email. By the way, I love to talk about Chicago, and I'm from the central Illinois, but I lived in the burbs and the city at one point in college and beyond. Yay, Chicago.
Yeah.
Going to be Chaos Cup there soon.
Yeah, and Paul and Ant are going, or just Paul?
I know Paul is going for
Okay.
sure, but I'm not sure who else is going.
Gotcha.
So that's from Derek. Hopefully you got a bunch of information on how to start up the wide world of local Blood Bowl.
Indeed. And I'm sure Ant will maybe chime in more than he did in the Slack. Like, I don't know if he'll send an email or he'll just give you a lot of stuff to pass along. He does also just came up on the chat. You can buy lots of cheap teams online through Impact and Black Scorpion.
Yes, I think I said I would come back to them later and then didn't. Impact, I've got a couple teams from them. They run $30+ $35 for a good chunk of players. Like, it came with a Minotaur big guy, an Ogre big guy, and then all the positionals I needed. They're not official models, but most places don't require that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's a lot of third-party stuff out there. We've talked about like the various Kickstarters and stuff that have gone on. Those are real nice, high-quality teams that are $90+ that not everyone's looking to invest that much to start out with, but they are good quality. But Impact Minis is a great place to start for a good chunk of teams for not a huge chunk of money.
Perfect.
Yeah.
One more email.
Surprise email. This one's from Wes of MHDD DM fame.
Yes.
This live stream is so boring.
There's no so. He just says his live stream is boring.
This live stream is boring. Just logged on to watch you guys. Weren't even there because you logged in while we were on the break.
Yep. Excellent timing.
And that's it for emails.
That is indeed it for emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us an email, sometimes about Blood Bowl. And that was a lot of Blood Bowl talk.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Do we have any BGG stuff, Zach?
No.
Okay, cool. We have one YouTube comment from Paulo's Corner on last week's episode. Episode 154, Super Casual. Paulo says, thanks for the show, guys. Hobbs and Shaw was great. Saw it last week and really enjoyed it. For being just stupid, dumb fun.
It knew what it was trying to be.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't mention about Hobbs and Shaw, how many people got kicked in the nuts in that movie?
Oh, a lot.
It seemed like a lot of people.
Yeah. My favorite thing about watching it the second time, I went and watched it with my mom because she likes The Rock and
Jason
Statham and Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, yeah, I'll go watch that. And so we're watching it, and it's at the scene where they're in the plane and they're like bickering.
Yeah.
And she leans over. We were the only ones in the theater, so she was being a little bit more chatty than she usually is, and I was responding more than I would at the Alamo.
Was this okay at the Alamo?
Yeah, because we were the only ones there, and I was like,
yeah,
nobody's gonna like put up a manager's card.
No, we're literally only talking to each other.
It'd be great if you put up one.
My mother's being a very loud person right now.
But she leans over to me and she goes, "Man, the only thing this scene needs is Kevin Hart." And it was all I could do to not laugh out loud, because then like 10 seconds later, boom, Kevin Hart. And she turns to me just like this, like, what the fuck? That's great. And then she was bummed he wasn't really in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But
at his office.
Yeah. In his office, yeah.
The pitch meeting for that is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if you guys talked about that when you did your Hobbs and Shaw review
I believe,
episode.
We had mentioned it.
Okay. It's great. That is it for YouTube comments over on Paulo's Corner. The live stream that we're doing right now as we record this episode, that video will be on the YouTube at a later date. So you can go watch over there if you want to.
Yeah.
It should also still be up on Twitch if you want to check that out, because now we have a Twitch. So if you didn't know and you didn't catch the notification in the Slack channel.
Or the Twitter,
you can go to twitch.tv/MH Game Guys, same handle as our Twitter, and you can catch us when we go live real randomly when we weren't planning to.
Yes.
It's kind of like,
It got working, and then we just did it.
yeah, I was like, you know what? I think we actually have everything we need to do here.
Yeah.
And then we just ran with it.
Some headphone delay issues.
And then fixing some echoing.
Yeah.
Some mic issues, some echoing at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, there were issues, but
now it's perfect.
unlike the curtains,
Yes.
the issues have been ironed out. But yeah, so I don't think there's anything really on Twitter or anywhere else for contact stuff. Am I forgetting any contact? It's been like a month since I've done this. Am I forgetting?
Well, we
any
have to
points
say
of
what they all
contact?
are.
Yes.
But I haven't forgotten any we need to check in on.
No.
Okay, cool. If you want to get hold of us, you can do so in so many different ways. You can send us emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can follow us over on Twitter, where I tweet under at MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I am Jeff_MHGG.
We also have Facebook and Instagram, both /MileHighGameGuys.
Sometimes game night pictures come up on the Instagram.
Do they?
Sometimes.
Sure.
Okay. We also now have our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MHGameGuys. Same as the Twitter that we just mentioned.
Yeah.
So you can subscribe to us over there and get notifications when we go live with videos. Mile High Game Guys will be streaming over there. We'll do some of our Wednesday episodes like we're doing now. Our Friday Q&A that we're going to do this week on Friday, it'll be over there. MHDD will also be hosted on the Mile High Game Guys channel on Twitch. And Megan has even agreed occasionally to come on 2-player like Monday afternoon or Tuesday mornings or just whenever and kick my ass at like Agricola, or maybe we'll co-op some Harry Potter or some Spirit Island or things like that.
Surprise
so we get
streams.
some 2-player Adrian and Megan, just gaming in the afternoon.
Maybe Aunt and I will just kick down your front door and start fucking playing Blood Bowl on this table.
There's a door code. I'd prefer you to not kick down the door.
Nope, sorry.
I'm going to scare the dog.
I'm pretty sure Zach knows the door code. If
I
you don't,
purposely
bet you
forgot
could
so I
okay.
could kick it down.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll
go
tape
through
it
that
to the
window.
door. That's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Tape the door code to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only for Jeff and Zach.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd be totally down, especially like, big Blood Bowl events, like, maybe season championships.
Oof.
We could do some streams for season championships.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
some live commentary from like Zach and I as people play Blood Bowl for 2.5 hours.
Uh-huh,
That'd
yeah.
be riveting.
Yeah.
Or you
commentary
get people
from
that
Zach
actually
and I.
care about Blood Bowl to talk.
No,
We'd almost certainly need at least one person who cared
Yes.
It's like,
for us to
man,
kind of riff off
Paul's
of.
taking a fucking long time again. Jesus Christ.
Paul is entering the 30th minute of turn 1. So yeah, lots of great stuff going to be happening over on Twitch. And also, coincidentally, tied with that, over on our YouTube channel, which has a purpose now more than just feeding Paulo audio.
And international listeners.
Yes.
that
And
don't have-
international
yeah.
listeners. So youtube.com/MileHighGameGuys will also host the long-term storage of all of our videos and everything that we do. And so be sure to go subscribe over there, like, comment, whatever people tell you to do in every YouTube video of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of them. We have our Board Game Geek Guild number 2731. And if you go to the show notes on milehighgameguys.com, there's links to the Slack channel. And you can come join the Slack channel, which is getting a big, hefty new input. We've had like 10 new people join,
Yeah,
I feel like,
just
in like the
flooding
last
in.
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
We have to play some board games now. I
I
guess.
know, right? So lots of ways to get in touch with us. Lots of exciting things in store. The studio, I mean, from what it was before, like, we didn't ever have video in the old studio downstairs. This is an improvement. Even the wrinkly-ass curtains are an
Yeah,
improvement.
more
That's true.
space.
Yes.
Just
And a lot more space.
yeah.
So,
Bigger table.
Which sort of negates the space a little bit, but
But it's more room for activities.
yes.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And Bob is complaining in the chat about Slack not working well with Twitch. There's a pretty good chance we'll start a Discord since that integrates so wonderfully with Twitch.
Okay.
Gotcha.
We'll see. We'll see.
Got to get on the Discord as well.
Yeah.
All the platforms.
Sure.
Get a MySpace.
Friendster, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, thanks everybody who tuned in live. All like dozen of you, I think. The number fluctuated a bit, and so I don't know. Like, was it like roughly a dozen the whole time, or was it like one dozen that started and we're like, nah, fuck this, and then like a different dozen joined in? I don't know how many people actually checked it out on the stream.
I'm sure we'll find out.
But thanks for jumping in on that super impromptu first ever stream.
Yeah.
Feels nice to be back to doing this. The break was nice. There was definitely some like, oh yeah, it's Monday and I don't have to record. Oh wait, do I have to go like put up curtains and do other things? But it's good to be back and
on Sundays
and talking into a mic. Yeah, Sundays are going to work real well.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun
Yep.
day. So there you go. That's it. That pretty much wraps up the whole episode. This is a Wednesday episode. So as all of our Wednesday episodes, it is sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games. They have a new Kickstarter that will be relaunching in a few weeks. Did you guys get to hear anything about that in person?
They had a big banner up, but they did not have it there, unfortunately. They've had some prototypes out at other conventions and people have played, but unfortunately we did not get an opportunity.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But it looks cool. It's a competitive tower defense game.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own little castles and pieces.
We'll have more information about that
Yes.
in the coming weeks.
Their Kickstarter was only up for a couple days, so I didn't really
Get to dive into it.
But Run, Fight, or Die, still out there.
Indeed.
Still get it.
And Reavers should be showing up in more and more hands as the Kickstarter fulfills.
We've got a Run, Fight, or Die copy with us currently that we need to play as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, there you go. Awesome Gray Fox sponsorship stuff. Jeff, do you have a prepared statement?
As is tradition. Gray Fox Games, quality games, cleverly crafted. Also, first it's my eyes, now it's my butt. What's next? On the battlefield, you never think about what's next.
All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's good to be back. And as always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Collegiate Jeff.
Bye.
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 I was replying to people who were wondering why my camera's so wishy-washy. There's another tripod around here. I found it.
God damn it, Adrian.
It was literally right there the entire time.
Maybe now is not the time.
I don't know. I think people would appreciate less wobbles.
I don't know where it's going to go.
But then we're going to spend 5 minutes actually adjusting where the camera attaches and screwing the camera in. And
fine, Jeff.
We will survive for the next
a little
30 minutes.
It'll be different next time. Don't worry.
That's
listeners. These mics will probably never again be in this exact position. They'll probably actually get put somewhere more permanent.
Correct.
The cameras?
Yes, the cameras. I don't know why I keep saying mics. I'm not used to having to deal with cameras. This is literally the first time I've ever had to deal with cameras.
You keep confusing what audio and video are.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Oh, man.
Punchboard Media,
where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.